Hi, my name is Miss Kyland, and today I will be reading to you How Santa Got His Job. Before we get started, let's chat a little bit about jobs. My job is working as a digital content creator for MEBA, or Midlands Education and Business Alliance. We bring you all types of programs and activities that help your teachers and help different businesses learn what students need so that they can get ready for the jobs of the future. We want to make sure that you have all the information that you need to choose careers that you love. So I make websites, I create videos, I create new content and information that we can share on social media like Instagram or Facebook to let people know all of the resources that we have to share to help you. Before that, I used to work at a hospital where I did ultrasound. Ultrasound is where we scan the body and we can look deep inside the body to find organs and to see what's normal or not normal to make sure that a patient is healthy. Sometimes we even get to look at babies in the tummy of a mom to make sure that the baby is healthy. After that, I made a different journey and started to work at a library. That's where I got to help people check out books, renew books, find new materials. Sometimes I would plan programs for kids and teenagers and adults to come in and enjoy some of the library resources. I would help people with resumes and finding new information. It was a lot of fun. And I even do some acting on the side, where I've been on the set of some movies. I've gotten to work in the children's theater and to be able to bring people a lot of joy through art. So there are so many different opportunities that you might have when it comes to careers. And this is the same journey that Santa had. He did a lot of different careers before he found his favorite job as Santa Claus. So let's get started reading. And while we read, think about what you might like to do. Do you know what you want to be when you grow up? If not, that's okay. There are so many options and you can explore. And if you do know what you want to be when you grow up, let's think about ways that you're going to get there. Are you going to go to school? Are you going to work right after school? What are some of the skills that you might need to do that job? Let's get started with our reading. How Santa Got His Job by Stephen Krinsky, who is the author, someone who writes the words for books. Illustrated by S.D. Schindler, which is someone who draws the pictures for a book. So if you love reading, writing, or art, being an author or an illustrator might be the job for you. And just as an added bonus, sometimes the author and the illustrator like to add a dedication page. This is a special page in a book that lets someone that the author loves know that they are important to them and that this book is in honor of them. Stephen Krinsky says, "For my mother-in-law, Mary Frangello, who has worked closely with Santa for many years." S.D. Schindler says, "To Paige, Lisa, Janet, Bernadette, and Carrie, for keeping us elves working." When Santa was a young man, he went out looking for a job. He wanted no part of desks or offices. He liked to stay on the move. Do you like to stay on the move, or would you like to work at a desk or in an office? Here's Santa, and he is looking at a newspaper. In the olden days, a newspaper had help wanted advertisements, and that's where you would find your jobs. You can still find those online on internet newspapers or in different areas. And still sometimes you can find them in the back of a newspaper today. Is Santa dressed appropriately to go looking for a job? He's wearing a suit, slacks, nice shoes. That is probably the best way to dress when you're looking for a job. His first job was cleaning chimneys. Santa was sure-footed on even the steepest roofs, and he loved twisting through the tight spaces. But there was a problem. Santa was so neat that he never got covered in soot or made a mess in the fireplace. So nobody believed him when he said he was done. "Where's the proof?" said some. "You're not even dirty," said others. This led to a lot of arguments. Does it look like Santa liked his job by the look on his face? Is it important that people know that you have finished a job before you leave for the day? What's the way that you handle arguments, whether it's with your friends or your parents? And how would you handle arguments on the job in a professional way? Santa worked for the post office next, where everyone could see that he was doing his job. Santa's favorite part was bringing packages to people all over town. Waiting in traffic was frustrating, though. It's silly to waste all this time, he decided. To speed things up, he started making deliveries in the middle of the night. Would you be okay with sitting in traffic like Santa Claus, or would you want to get there faster? But there was a problem. No one was glad to see him at that hour. The postmaster got so many complaining letters that Santa had to leave. This person does not look happy to see Santa in the middle of the night. Let's see what he does next. Since Santa had discovered he enjoyed staying up late, he tried cooking at an all-night diner. It felt good to fill orders for customers. Sometimes Santa even surprised people with extra helpings. "Oh, I couldn't eat another bite," many of them insisted. "Well, maybe just one." But there was a problem. Every night, Santa tasted and sampled and tasted some more before he even brought anything out of the kitchen. He gained a lot of weight. Would you like to work late like Santa? Is it important to make sure that you are not eating the food when you work at a restaurant? At least before the customers get any. Let's see what he does next to fix this problem. Hoping to get some exercise, Santa then found a spot at the zoo. He was very organized about the animals. "I know when they are sleeping," Santa said, "and when they are awake." Over time, he also learned whether they were behaving themselves or not. But there was a problem. Santa became close friends with the reindeer, and all the other animals got jealous. Sadly, the zookeeper had to let him go. These animals don't look very happy. When you're at any job, is it important to make sure that everyone feels like they're important? By now, Santa was starting to get discouraged. He didn't even notice what the reindeer were doing behind him. What are they doing behind him? They worked hard to cheer him up. Together, they joined the circus. Soon the reindeer were shooting Santa out of a cannon 3 times a night. Santa liked flying through the air and wearing his new costume. He was a big success. But there was a problem. The ringmaster wanted to build up the suspense. "You need to look frightened," he told Santa. "We want the crowd to worry about you." But Santa was having too much fun for that. "Ho, ho, ho," he always cried as he flew through the air. So the crowd wasn't worried at all. As Santa flies through the air, it looks like he's having a good time. But did Santa agree with what the ringmaster required of him for his job duties? Did he agree to looking worried Did Santa agree to looking frightened? Is it important to agree with the job requirements before you do a job? The angry ringmaster soon fired Santa and the reindeer. As they gathered their things, some elves came looking for autographs. When they heard the news, they invited Santa and the reindeer home for supper. The elves lived way out of town. They were toy makers, and their house was their workshop. Would you like to work from home like the elves? Or would you like to work at a different office building from your house? Santa was amazed. "Children must love these toys," he said. The elves looked embarrassed. They only made toys for their own pleasure. Selling them was too much trouble. "What if you give them away?" Santa asked. The elves hadn't thought of that. "I could deliver them for you," Santa offered. There were enough toys here for children all over the world. The elves smiled and hired him on the spot. If you notice here, Santa is signing a contract. You'll always sign a contract when you begin a job to make sure that you know what your job duties are. Once you sign it, you can get started. The elves made Santa a special sack that was always big enough no matter how many toys were put in it. Then they built him a sleigh. The polar bears offered to pull it. They were very strong and whipped Santa across the snow. But there was a problem. It looks like Santa is about to fly out of the sleigh because the polar bears are so strong. This was the biggest problem yet. What is the problem? It looks like the ice has melted. How is Santa going to get across the North Pole? How is he going to solve this problem? To Santa's surprise, this problem could be solved. Santa and the reindeer practiced together every day. They made a few mistakes at first, but soon they learned to work as a team. It looks like Santa's reindeer are using their skills of flying from the circus, and that is helping them problem solve. Problem solving is an important skill when you're at a job. You want to make sure you can look at something and figure out the best way to get it fixed. And when you work as a team, you get more done. In the darkest part of winter, when people need their spirits lifted the most, Santa got ready to go. As the elves said goodbye, they gave Santa an emergency kit. It held a compass, ski goggles, cough drops, and other things. Santa thanked them very much. All his jobs had taught him it was good to be prepared. Why was it important for Santa to have ski goggles, a compass, and cough drops? The ski goggles were great because sometimes the wind can make your eyes dry, so those would protect his eyes. A compass helps him find his way through the dark to get to every child's house. And the cough drops protect his throat and his voice so that he doesn't get too sick while he's out in that cold winter air. What else can you think of that might be helpful in Santa's kit? Then Santa and his reindeer took off. That first night was a little hard because Santa was still learning about shortcuts and high winds. But at last, he got the hang of it. Ever since then, the elves have made toys all year, and Santa has given them away in one night. He loves his job as much as ever, and he's gotten pretty good at it over the years. Still, he always keeps his emergency kit close by. Is it okay to not know all of your job duties perfectly when you first get started? Does it take time and a little bit of patience at a job before you get everything just right? Why is it important that Santa keeps his emergency kit close by? Because no job is perfect. It looks like here, Santa lost a teddy bear along the way. But as long as he has his emergency kit, he'll be prepared to make sure that every child gets a gift. Some jobs will have aspects that you like, and some jobs will have things that you don't like. No job is perfect, but there might be a job that you really, really like, and that makes you feel great at the end of the day. So, start thinking. What would you like to do? Would you like to work in a team, a big team or a small team? Do you have to have good communication skills? That involves speaking or writing, talking to different people. Do you like art? Do you like to draw? Do you like to sing or dance? Do you like to make sure that people are healthy? Do you like to work late, or do you like to work early in the morning? Do you like to be in traffic for a long time, or do you like to drive as a job? Or do you want to work in an office or at home? These are some thoughts that you might have while you're considering what jobs you might like. Santa went through a journey on his job, as I went through a journey on my job, and some of your parents or guardians or friends might have gone through a journey on their job as well. And so might you. And that's okay. It's time to learn to explore, have fun while you find new careers, and one day you'll find what you are passionate about in a career. We hope you enjoyed this reading of how Santa got his job, and we will see you next time. Happy holidays!